What's good, everybody? It's your boy OG Guac 420 back at it with another episode of Collector Disconnect. And on today's episode, we're gonna be taking a quick look at some amazing McFarlane DC Multiverse Superman action figures, and hopefully we can find the perfect one for my Justice League shelf, or even kit bash and customize the perfect Superman out of these 4, 5, 6 different Supermans I have in my collection. Of course, there's gonna be a ton of head swaps, maybe even some trunk swaps and some limb swaps. Sounds kind of weird saying that. For the first half of this video, we are going to be unboxing and quickly going over some of these Superman figures I have yet to actually play with and have in my hand. Right now, in my actual DC Multiverse Justice League collection, I've been rocking this Action Comics, I think it is, Superman. This one is like the Screaming version from the 2-pack with Devastator, I believe, that came with that really cool base. The base is like right behind me, I believe, but as you can see, this guy is collecting dust as well. The Justice League shelf that I have in my collection is kind of like on the lower tier, so it collects a bunch of dust, and I really want to move it up to like at least right here or right there and give it like a proper display and actually add some more members. So be on the lookout for a display building video coming out this year, hopefully sooner rather than later, because I've been itching to change out all my actual Justice League members. You know, that Wonder Woman that just came out, obviously a new Superman, and maybe even a new Green Lantern coming soon as well, so stay tuned for that. And real quick before we go and get started with the video, this is my custom Superman Red Sun right here. I just painted out the hands black, the neck black. What else did I do? I think the symbol black, the boots, just to make it look a little bit more comic accurate. Or I think I was looking at the art from the animated Red Sun movie right here, so this guy's pretty cool. Alright guys, so hopefully it's not a long video. I do have my work cut out for me. I'm kind of intimidated doing one of these customs. I will be using a couple of those custom videos from Bones and the Necro Zoo to actually help me out with someone like the swaps, so the trunk swaps, the head swaps, color matching, painting eyes, all that stuff. So definitely check out Bones and the Necro Zoo. Basically my favorite McFarlane DC Multiverse reviewer, customizer on the tube right now. So enough of me talking, guys. Without further ado, let's get it cracking. So yeah, here we have the Superman Hush. When this thing first dropped, it was selling out like hotcakes, so I've had it since then, over a year and a half, I believe. The first version was actually the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Ivy like poison version with like the leaves and whatnot. So here we have like the classic just normal version from the Hush storyline. Pretty cool. So when I first initially got this, this guy was going to be replacing this guy, but man, I just love everything about this figure, other than like the smaller legs, but I really love like the mean grimacing freaking face sculpt he has going on. So like I said, there will be a lot of head swaps going on to finally get my perfect Superman. So here we have it one more time, Superman Hush. Alright, so I believe I do have these in the order that they were released. So following that Batman Hush, I did end up picking up this Platinum Collector's Edition Action Comics #1 Superman, and I believe the Platinum version has the red boots and a different chest emblem compared to the one that's actually shown in the source material right there. So different emblem, same boots, so it's kind of a mixed match. You can't get like the perfect version ever from McFarlane, but that's the entire point of today's video, is try to mix match and kit bash a perfect looking, not really too classic, but not, you know, too modern looking Superman for my Justice League shelf. So here we have it one more time, the Platinum Action Comics #1 Superman. I believe he's also on the Hush Infected Superman body, if I'm not mistaken. That guy has been made so many times on the exact same body, which is pretty funny. Ours, following the Action Comics #1, we do have another McFarlane Collector's Edition right here. Glad I didn't get the freaking Platinum version, which is like an all green, like kryptonite looking version. I think even Crypto's green, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, glad I actually have the normal version in this situation. The big main reason I actually got this guy is for that amazing mullet like head sculpt right there, and also Crypto the dog. So I don't really know what I'm gonna be doing with this ginormous Giga Chad body right here. This guy is just too swole to be like anywhere in my collection. I mean, other than the actual Superman shelf I have going on, but I might be like using parts from this Superman body for sure. Probably like the cape, or like yeah, probably just the cape, because I mean this guy is super huge. But yeah, like I said, for sure gonna be using this head sculpt either on my own custom solar suit, black suit that he has in the Reign of Superman comics, or even on this Superman I'm making today, utilizing this amazing head sculpt, which is basically just a rehash of this one, I believe, the Action Comics Superman 1000 right here. This one, like I said, is the screaming head version, not the normal one, but it's the same exact head, just with a different set of hair. So pretty cool. All right, so last but not least, this is the latest Superman I did pick up. This one is just titled Superman Classic, and even though it says Classic, these trunks are most definitely not. So I'm actually thinking about using this as a base for my kit badge Superman. Maybe replace the trunks first and foremost, and I'm honestly kind of thinking of making the blue like a shade bit darker. This is a little bit too light for my liking. That new Superman from the Infinite Crisis wave, the McFarlane Toy Store $40 exclusive wave, looks pretty cool. I feel like, in my opinion, that's the actual classic Superman, and this is just another reason to release this pretty cool Superman buck, the Page Punchers one, again in a classic color scheme. Like I said, these trunks are not it for right now, so hopefully we can do a pretty seamless swap with that, and maybe even change the head sculpt on this bad boy. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, this guy has some giant ass freaking hands, so for sure gonna have to go into my fodder and see if I have any other hands, or see if any of these other Superman hands fit on there, because I know from experience seeing other people's videos of the original Page Punchers and this one right here, and I think the vampire one as well, he has some giant freaking hands, like laughably big ass hands. So for sure gonna have to change that up, and hopefully at the end of this video we have the perfect, well, in my opinion, the perfect Superman for my McFarlane DC Multiverse Justice League collection. Alright, so here we have our two base Superman bodies. I think it's gonna be a competition between which one of these two comes out on top. As you can see, they have pretty cool capes, but I might be changing out the cape on this bad boy right here. And the trunks, we're gonna be trying to change out the trunks, probably the head sculpt. And for this one, it's basically, like I said, the most perfect Superman I've had so far, and it just happens to be the first one I've had in my collection. As you can see, his legs are kind of like too thin, and I'm thinking about swapping them with these. Well, kind of a little bit thicker, I guess you can say. The colors don't match up, but we'll see what we can do about that. And this guy, I mean, I'm gonna take his trunks, his legs, maybe his fists, maybe his head sculpt, and his cape, just because it's pretty stoic how it looks to the side, and it has the shield. So this guy is, like I said earlier, he's like a pretty cool looking figure. If it wasn't for these other ones, this guy probably would have been replacing this one. But let's see if we can actually combine these two guys to make another one, and then use some parts and use this right here as well. Alright, so here we have the classic Superman, and like I said, this blue is a little too light for me for right now, but once we actually put the trunks on, if it hasn't grown on me by then, we might be trying to make it like a shade darker. Like this one's a little bit darker, so a little bit darker than that. Not as dark as this, but in between, I mean a little bit darker than this right here. So we shall see. Let's see if we can go ahead and pull off the legs on this without soaking them, because I know I tried those earlier and they did not want to come off. So let's see. Oh yeah, that just comes right off. The trunks, just remove like that. Pretty cool. And then here we have the actual leg waist joint right here, I guess you can say. I didn't say earlier, but this is still a pretty cool looking Superman. The face sculpt, it's alright, but I just don't really need a smiling Superman in my collection. But we shall see. Alright, so here we have Superman Hush. I'll fresh him in his hot tub soaking, and see if we can just pop these bad boys off. Voila, there's two. And we have the classic trunks, which should be going right there. Pretty cool. Still pretty cool Superman. I know he's still available on retail, so I do have the 2-pack with who is it, Doomsday and him, like kind of battle damage. So I'll see if I just end up using that one for my Hush Superman. If not, I might pick up another one day, but for right now, this guy's about to get absolutely freaking wrecked. real quick, I want to show you guys. Let's see if I can turn off the light. What I'm trying to do right here, pretty simple. Here are all the head swaps. Like I said, this guy is getting absolutely wrecked. To add to this, and like I said, I might try to do a different shade of blue for this guy right here. But that's kind of my mock-up right there. You guys were wondering. Thanks. I don't know if you guys can see the difference. I kind of can. Oh, that looks pretty sweet. And to compare, these are the other legs right here. So, see, in person is way more noticeable, but these are way skinnier. Well, not way skinnier, but a little bit more muscle. And the only thing I have to do now is actually color match this blue onto this, and we'll have a pretty cool looking Superman. Alright, so here is the look I think I'm gonna go with. We have the classic mullet right here. So basically what this one is trying to show. Boom. Pretty cool. That's how it looks with crypto. Let's see. That's comparing two heads. This one is you can see, like, I think it kind of looks, head looks kind of small, but makes the rest of the body look bigger. I actually kind of do like this, but as you can see, dude's freaking head is almost the exact same size as his hands, which looks pretty funny, but it's not actually that bad. Not that bad at all. Compare it to this other grimacing faces. Grimacing face. Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. So right now, let's go ahead and pop this one on, and we'll see what that's about. Alright, so here we have this one, and wow, this one's actually not half bad at all. Holy crap. Huh. So it's definitely, let's see. I don't know which one to choose. These three right here. It's kind of snug. Looks way freaking better. Alright, so I decided that I'm gonna try to remove this and put this in here. So swap these two out because these trunks are not fitting properly and they're kind of getting all messed up right here. So let's see if that works out. Alright, so here we have this on there. That was kind of hard to use. I had to pull it out with some pliers. And here's the old one for reference. Alright, so here's what it looks like now. This thing is still kind of a problem, somewhat, but I need to just pull these down. And of course, there is slight gappage right there. So what you need to do is make it tighter. So I think I'm gonna cut both sides. That way it's like that. So here's this head, which I feel like looks like this with the shield and whatnot. So I think I'm just gonna repaint this to match that blue. And this is a pretty cool looking Superman. What I did with that head is I put it on Superman red body. So that was the head that was on this one. And then of course what I did with that head is I put it on this one right here. And I also have this one just in case, because this one still looks pretty freaking cool. But yeah, so right now we got pretty cool looking Superman. Alright, so I'm gonna try to see if I can take off the cape. And we're just gonna pull that back slowly. Alright, so here we have the cape completely removed. So I might have to cut that off right there too. And then we're gonna slide this bad boy right there and give him a cool looking cape. So let me see if I can just, oh shit. Alright, so here we have the cape. This one did come off pretty easily from the back. So now I'm gonna try to get this cape right here and attach it like so. And voila. That looks pretty freaking cool. Alright, so before we get started, we are going to be painting all the limbs. So here I have all the limbs, and thinking maybe like that. I have these 3 blues right here. What I want is to be slightly darker than that, so I'm thinking this one right here. And I have these 2 dark ones too, but we're not gonna use that because it's more like that. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I have my brushes, and we'll be using this one right here. I have a cap, I have some water. Here we have the blue I'm using, brand new. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is do a single drop in there. So I'm gonna add 1, 2 drops of water, maybe, yeah, 2. We'll mix it up. Alright, so this is what it looks like mixed up. All I'm doing is doing that. I think as long as you see those little bubbles in there, that means it's good. So just go ahead and like start on an arm. Just gonna expose the joints, and then let's see, we'll start from right here. It's not gonna be that thick at all. This is gonna take multiple coats, but the whole point of doing it like this is so there's not a lot of paint rub, and also it's not sticky, the final product. So for sure, let each coat dry and then go over it again with another coat once it's fully dry. Alright, so here we have it coated with 1 really thin thing of paint. So that's literally what I'm going for, just a little bit darker, as you can see. So I think maybe just with 2 coats of paint, this thing would be good to go. Okay, so next up we are going to be doing this, and I'm just going to go ahead and like crunch it as much as I can. I'm going to get on here first, and then at the end we're going to crunch it back. Alright, so here we have the chest, and I probably should have taken out these bushings, so let's see if I didn't mess it up. Right now I did push it out a little bit so you can see the exposed part, but yeah, here's the front, here's the back, so you can see the color difference. Slight, but man, this thing is looking pretty freaking cool. So real quick for this the middle piece, I might hit it with some of this gold and see how it looks. Alright, so this is with the second coat of paint, and I don't know if you guys can see the difference. This has some splotches. So this is what we're going for right here. Oh, versus that. So perfect. Real quick, here's a update. Let's see if we can zoom it in. The gold, it's a small difference, but right there you can actually see it. Pretty cool nonetheless. And real quick, make sure you do wash the brush, just so the old like dried up paint that's like builds up right there, it's not right. Alright, so here we have the fully dry hand, and you can see, you can articulate it. The joints are still good. So now we're gonna do this joint and do this, and that should be good. We're also going to be moving that so you can see. Alright, so here we have the finished product. Pretty cool. We have these joints looking nice. Feels solid. Compare, I think this is like what the original blue looked like. So you can see quite a difference. Right now we are going to be trying to get this glued on like so. Voila. And we're going to see how we can modify this to be skinnier as well. Alright, so what I did is I went ahead and split it right here. And I think I'm gonna try to cut some of that down so it can be more squished like that. And then maybe take some off like that. So right here, you guys can see, kind of pushed it in. So the gap is gone. And this is the overlay. So that's what we're going for right there. Alright, so here we have the trunks. And that's where I snipped it. That's how it's gonna look. Alright, so Bones did mention to get like a super thin piece of plastic to actually like put on the inside, like so. Like that, I don't know if you guys can see. But yeah, that way this is glued there and the seam won't open back up. Alright guys, so here is the finished product. And of course, you know, I messed up at the very end on those trunks by cutting them too tight, but I didn't make it work ultimately. So in my books, this thing is still a pretty amazing custom. It will be replacing my old Superman. So appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you guys follow along if you do want to make a custom like this. And a shout out one more time Bones, because I basically copied his entire video. I just added the paint and the head sculpt. So yeah, thank you guys for watching again. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
You have just witnessed another episode of Collect to Disconnect.